That was the bad thing about that during the pandemic. The prices of rental property should not have gone up that crazy. It should not have done it that way because it's not sustainable. It wasn't sustainable because that was only a time frame where the money was.
How many agencies have you worked with in the past 13 years?
Oh, I've only worked with 3 agencies.
Wow.
Yeah, I
You're
pretty
so
much
loyal.
I pretty
Oh my
much
God.
hang on to whoever, you know, how they say that your recruiter, it's either make it or not make it for you or break it for you or whatever the thing is.
Okay.
But they say that it's either it has something to do with your
Your
recruiter
being
or
a
make
good
it for
person.
you or not.
Mhm.
Because there's a lot of agents. I've also like applied to many agencies in the past, and none of them like pans out. Like for example, just last year when I was looking, because I was off for like a few months, and when I started this job that I'm here now, here in the Big Island, I looked into. I actually signed up with I think 3 or 4 agencies, and only one came through for me and got me the job. Didn't stop until I get an assignment, and that's usually what happened to me. The people, the recruiter who doesn't quit on me is the one that usually I stay with.
So I think it's actually a two-way thing, because if you're working with a recruiter and they know you that you are a very diligent nurse, usually they don't want to leave you.
Right.
Because they know if they get your assignment,
Right.
you're going to do the assignment.
Right.
You pick up shift, you do also.
Yeah.
I know you don't pick up shift again, but you said you used to pick up shift when you were younger.
But the reason why for me is that a lot of nurses, they chase where the money is.
Guys,
so they go.
She's not looking for money again.
No, I do.
She's not looking for money.
No. I really do. But the thing with me is that I want to dictate where I want to go. So what I've always done is that, hey, I want to go to California and I want to go South California. What do you have there? And so my recruiter would be looking at all the assignments in that area and tells me like this is how much they're paying. And when we go for the for the hospital that pays the most, and that's where he will get me. But I don't like I know that a lot of like agency, they'll say, hey, I have an assignment paying this much money in Minnesota, but I don't want to go to Minnesota. It's winter time and I don't want to go there. You may be paying me a lot of money, but I don't want to be there. So that makes a lot of difference for me. But if I go, like I said, I dictate where I want to go. It's not always.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
It's good to know what you want.
Right.
Because a lot of travelers don't even know how to start. They don't know. They just want to take assignments.
Right.
Like I was telling you about my first assignment
Yeah.
that I got in Texas.
Yeah.
And it got cancelled.
Yeah.
Just few weeks before my result.
That happens.
Yeah.
It happens to me at one time too, but because I have such a good recruiter, that's why I wanted to touch base on that, because I had a wonderful recruiter, because I was already on my way there. I'm literally driving on my way there.
Wow.
I've got everything lined up where I'm staying and everything, and I'm thinking, okay, last minute canceled on me. They don't need me, and I'm thinking, okay, what am I gonna do now? I can't just. I'm already halfway. On my way there, already halfway. And what am I gonna do? Turn back to my home and stuff like that.
Did they have to pay you?
No, they don't pay you once they cancel. You don't get paid.
So the agency didn't pay for your gas or anything?
I think they gave me that contract is pretty much gone. So gone. So no, I don't think they would pay you for that. But lucky thing, I had a wonderful recruiter and she got me an assignment right away. Right away. So she told me, don't stop, keep going. I'm gonna continue to look for an assignment for you. And before the day's end, she already got me a contract lined up.
So guys, make sure you have a good recruiter. Make sure you have. Your recruiter can spoil your experience as a travel nurse or make it enjoyable for you as a travel nurse.
Make sure, on that note also, make sure you interview the recruiter, make sure that you're on the same page, what you both are looking for, that way, try to get to know each other.
Yeah. Interview your recruiter. See, these people, they really want you because you're making money for them.
Yes.
So you have to ask them every single question.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Sure.
Maryanne. And what is something standard in the hospitals today that didn't even exist when you were working or when you started as a travel nurse?
I'm not sure.
Like the Epic, did you guys have Epic then? Did you have Pixies then?
We had Pixies. They just call them,
about
I think,
Alaris?
Omnicell. They did have
So
Alaris.
Omnicell is old?
I'm not sure because some hospital. I'm not sure which one
I
is
think
new.
it's just brand.
I think it's just brand. But I'm not really 100% sure which one came 1st, the Omnicell or the Pixies. But they're pretty much the same kind of machine.
So nothing
this
has
is a
changed.
dispenser.
It's
No.
just that they're changed. They're kind of upgrading.
Right.
The stuff. Okay.
Yeah, it just
That's
depends
good
on
to
the
know.
hospital if they've got like a bigger area, if they put all their medications in the machine or they bring it up to the unit or something like that.
Because when I was in Canada, most hospitals then, especially places like New Brunswick, BC, some hospitals still use paper charting.
Oh, that was long. That was long time, girl. That was long time. Not 13 years ago.
I don't think there's any
no.
hospital in US using paper charting.
I think 13 years ago, I think they were starting to go into electronic charting.
So
as
as of now, you don't think there's no hospital in the US using paper charting?
as far as I know, no. Even with my little hospital, they were using Epic, the 68 beds.
In Canada, we still have like big hospitals using paper charting or what's this thing? I can't remember.
Meditech?
Yes, Meditech.
Oh, that's an old machine. Yeah.
That's an old machine.
But they do have new one now, I think.
I don't like it.
McKesson also. There's McKesson, Meditech,
What's your favorite? Senna,
Epic, hands
always.
down,
Epic,
hands down,
yeah.
Epic.
Shout out to you, Epic.
That's right. Yeah. yeah.
And the next question would be, so travel nursing spiked in popularity during the pandemic.
Yeah.
What did the industry lose or gain from that sudden boom?
Well, I know they lost a lot of nurses. We already have like a big shortage before the pandemic, and I think we lost a lot more after that.
Why? Is it because they didn't get the vaccine?
No, I think they just quit. They just didn't want to deal with it anymore. They're done doing nursing, and somehow that was the breaking point with a lot of nurses.
Wow.
Yeah,
And that's why we have a lot of shortage now.
Yeah, I think so, because I call them the old timers. You know how the old timers love to work. We didn't get paid a lot of money, but we did it.
So you guys just want to go to the hospital to help your colleagues?
Yes.
Without thinking about the money?
No, we didn't.
You don't care about OT?
No, we did. In our hospital before, my old hospital, they did pay us for overtime, but it's not much more. You know what I mean? Not like after they're giving incentive. You know, if you pick up this many hours.
So you're just doing the OT because you want to help, because and I think it's the older nurses, when you go to the hospital to do OT, they thank you. I think they are used to it. Like, thank you for coming to help us. Meanwhile, I'll be like, I'm getting paid for this. Right. But I think it's your old way now. What do you call it again? Princess shift?
Oh yes, we used to, those little shifts, like mini shifts, like 4-hour shifts and things like that. They were so easy to do because they're only 4 hours, right? So everybody would love them. Yeah. Now I don't know, they don't do that anymore. It's either like you do
we still do it in Canada sometimes.
Yeah.
When you work the shift and they make you do extra 4 hours.
Yeah.
You go 11 p.m.
We call them like mini shifts or princess shifts because it's you. You prance around and
You
then
help
you do
them with their
little
sugars
yes,
and meds
yes, and meds, and
yeah.
you do a little charting, and then you go home, and you're still early enough. Depends on the hour that you go in, and you're still early enough to either sleep if you go in at like 7 to 11 at night, or 3 to 11. You still have dinner and have time with your family in the evening, and then you already
True.
put in your time, and on
True.
top of that, you were able to help your friends, your coworkers, and that
And
was the
that,
big
that
thing.
gives you
Yeah.
joy. Helping them gives
Exactly.
you joy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a nurse right there. A passionate nurse. She loves nursing, I can tell. Like the first day she met me, she started advising me. And I was like, oh my god, I feel like I have a mom here in Hawaii. But Maryanne, I have to like appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you
You're
for all you
welcome.
do. People like you encourage us, the new generation
Yes.
nurses. I see you, and I always remind myself the reason why I'm doing nursing, even the reason why I'm doing travel nursing.
We need that sometimes, you know, because nursing is a very difficult profession.
It
you know.
is.
It takes so much out of us, and you know, mental wise,
And we give a
physical
lot.
time.
We
Yes,
give
we
a
do.
lot to strangers.
Oh yes.
And
Yeah.
without even thinking about
Yes.
it.
Yes. That's true.
I remember my shift yesterday. I didn't drink water throughout the shift.
See,
I
that's what I mean.
remembered around 5:30 a.m. I
Yes.
have not drank water.
That's good.
The next segment now is golden advice. Golden advice and closing speech. So, but I would ask you questions. So if
Okay.
you have additional contribution, you
Okay.
can let us know.
Okay.
If you could go back to 2013 and give your younger self a piece of advice, what would it be?
Before I started traveling, is that what you mean?
Yes.
You know, I would have done traveling before that. I would have started my career as a traveling nurse a lot sooner.
I felt I know the answer because you've told me before that the only regret,
Yes.
13 years,
Yes.
the only regret you had is not starting early.
Yes. Exactly.
Good.
Yeah.
And the next question is, what is the biggest red flag a traveler should look for in a nursing agency or a recruiter?
I think when they say, "Oh, they have an assignment for you," and all of a sudden you don't hear anything from them, like they just ghost you. I don't like that.
You shouldn't use that agency.
I don't. Yeah,
They're not
I usually don't. Yeah, they're not dependable. They don't want to stay with you because you only want to go to Hawaii. Okay, that's just how I am. I want to go to Hawaii, and they can't get me there, and they keep saying, you know, I want to, you know, they want to get me to this place, and I don't want to go to those places. So because I know there is assignment in Hawaii, you just have to find it for me.
They just don't have. Maybe they don't have that connection to get the assignment.
Right. They might not have, but if they know somebody, they could get me there, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's so many agencies now that they could do that. So that's the only thing that I don't like is when they don't even tell you that they're leaving, you know, that they can't get to the assignment, they don't nothing.
They just ghost you.
Yeah, they just ghost you. I don't like that. They'll say, "Hey, you know, I can't get this assignment for you. I'm so sorry, but you should look for another agency or whatever." You know?
Travel agencies, you guys should do better. Recruiters, you guys should do better. Stop ghosting nurses.
Yeah.
If you can't get the assignments, just let us know.
I know some nurses that I'm sure like the agencies say the same thing to the nurses also, but I'm not like that.
But they send they send like a lot of messages. If we check my iMessage now, I have
well, those are different. Like the one that you're already working with. The one that you're already
Sure.
Because I've had that before, and they pass you around to a different recruiter without even telling you that they're passing to a different recruiter. You know, all of a sudden you're getting a different one. I'm like, what happened to the one I had before? You know,
right.
So yeah.
And the last question.
Yay!
The last question is: travel nursing still what it's today, or has the golden era passed?
For me, it is still worth it. It just depends now on your goal, what you want to do. Because I mean, there are still big money out there, but I don't think they're not as good as they were before. I mean, period, anyway, because of the economy that we've been having and all that kind of stuff. I think we should be getting paid more than where before the pandemic, I would say, but it is what it is, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But to me, it's still worth it.
Yeah. And when we were talking last week, you mentioned something about landlords
Mm-hmm.
wanting to collect the amounts they were collecting from nurses. I know I told you that was the last question, but I just remembered.
Yeah, yeah.
The landlord wants to collect the prices they were charging nurses during pandemic. Like they
Yes.
were really charging you guys like 3,000,
lot.
4,000
Yes.
a month for
Yeah.
probably studio.
Right.
And they still want to be collecting the same amount of money now, even though nurses or travel nurses have gotten
Right.
like the pay cuts.
That was
What do you think about
that was the bad thing about that during the pandemic. The prices of rental property should not have gone up that crazy. It should not have done it that way because it's not sustainable. You know, it wasn't sustainable because that was only a time frame where the money was, was available
For the
and
nurses.
for the nurses and stuff like that, and it just got out of hand.
Yeah. So landlords, nurses are not getting as much as they were getting during pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
Please try as much as possible to reduce your housing or rental costs so travel nurses can afford your rental property. And once again, I would like to appreciate you. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I'll be seeing you guys in the next episode of Nurses Who Inspire. Thank you for watching. Bye.